What's going on, guys? It's the Hunter Project here. Welcome back to my channel. So it has been quite a while since my last upload. I did take a little break from YouTube for a few weeks, just while we had like next to nothing in terms of news for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. But now we just got the digital event and a lot more new information, so I thought it would be the perfect time to take a little break, just refresh my mind, recuperate, and just to avoid any severe burnout. And as for the stream itself, which will be the focus of this video, of course, I think it was pretty good. I wouldn't say it was insane or like extremely amazing, but it definitely wasn't bad. As always, a like would be extremely appreciated. It does help out the channel a ton and help push out this video, and subscribe for a lot more Monster Hunter content, which of course is what this channel revolves around. Without wasting any more time, let's jump straight into the video. So, the Sunbreak expansion will be expanding heavily upon the base game, as you'd expect, with one of the main inclusions being G rank or Master rank, for whichever name you prefer. We also will be getting a new map. It's called Citadel, which was shown heavily in the trailer alongside the new hub area. And the Citadel map itself does have quite a few environments within the one map, with the castle at the center of it, which is most likely, or more than most likely, the location we saw Malzeno in the first trailer, which of course is the flagship monster of this expansion. And while we did get this reveal of Malzeno a while back, we did actually get new information today, with it being involved in a group called the Three Lords, who are a threat to the village, as you'd expect, similar to the Fated Four. And we actually got the other two monsters revealed who are a part of these Three Lords, and I'm guessing obviously they're not going to be working together and talking and anything silly like that. They're probably going to be like the Citadel map does have a few environments. I'm guessing that they're going to be like dominant in those environments, like the kings of those areas, and sometimes they will cross paths, just like we saw with two of the monsters, which I will get into. We saw a tiny little, I think like 4-5 second turf war between the two, and those two monsters were Luna Garon, which we've seen before, and Garen Golem. So starting with Luna Garon, since that is a monster we've already seen, it did get a little bit more screen time, specifically with actual in-game footage, which was pretty cool, and I thought it was a pretty decent monster. It looked like a Zenoga Oda Garon type fight, where it was very high octane and just you have to be quick on your feet. It did show off a lot more icy capabilities for the monster, which was pretty cool. In general, I thought it was a decent monster. It had like a misty attack, which I'm guessing will give you Ice Blight if you stay in it too long, and it will slow you down while you're in the mist. It had this ability where it would charge similar to Zenoga, but of course rather than being charged with lightning, it was charged with ice, and it was just like the appearance of it became a lot more icy and spiky. But in general, I thought it was a pretty solid monster. And the other remaining member of the Three Lords was Garen Golem, which is completely new to this stream. We hadn't seen anything beforehand, and it does remind me of like a cross between Gosharag and Rajang with like a mossy theme. Definitely let me know down below what you guys thought of it. I thought it was extremely cool, probably my favorite new monster so far. Of course, we haven't seen enough of Malzeno for me to say anything about it. We've just seen a lot of like cutscene type footage, whereas Garen Golem, I was gonna say Gosharag, Garen Golem, we did get a decent bit of gameplay, like in game, with the hunter fighting it, so that was nice to see. I thought his moveset was pretty cool, and the design in general was pretty awesome. I do love when monsters like fit into their scenery. So this looks like a stone, like a massive rock boulder covered in moss that could easily blend in if it wanted to, and I thought that was really cool. It's like it's been sleeping in its environment, the moss has grown over it, and it's just become part of its appearance. Definitely let me know down below, guys, what you thought of it, as it's one of our new monsters, so it's interesting to see how the community will receive it. As I mentioned before, Malzeno was in this trailer, and we did get it revealed as part of the Three Lords. We did get a bit more screen time with it. It wasn't anything too special. It was just more, I think, story-based cutscenes of it. I think it is a pretty cool flagship. I don't think it's better than like Nergigante or even Magnamalo yet, as we haven't seen enough of it, but I'll definitely conclude my opinion when we get more information, or even when I actually fight it myself, whether that's in the Sunbreak demo, which I'm assuming they'll probably put it in, as they did that with Volcana, they did that with Nergigante, they did it with Magnamalo, so I wouldn't be surprised if we got a Sunbreak demo that gave us a little taste of what Malzeno's fight will be like, but I'll definitely decide by then as to whether or not I think it's higher ranked, like a high ranking flagship in terms of my rankings, or if I'm not too big of a fan of it. But we also got an introduction of a new subspecies, which was awesome to see. I'm so glad subspecies are returning, as while they are kind of like reskins, they are very different to the base monster, and I think they are worth implementing into Monster Hunter games. We didn't see a single one in, of course if you're not including Apex monsters, we didn't see a single subspecies in the base game, so it is nice to see that Bish-Haten is getting a new subspecies, and it will specialize in more of an explosive nature rather than how the base one is more poison focused, so that's pretty cool to see. And then we also got a pretty massive return from the monster Astalos, which is one of the Fated 4, and it's going to be joining Mizitsune in the game's roster, which is awesome to see. It would be so cool if by the end of Sunbreak's life cycle we actually got to see all 4 Fated 4 members, but I don't think that would happen. I don't think it could happen, but who knows what Capcom's planning for Sunbreak's life cycle. And this is actually the first time Astalos will be in a mainline game, because of course Generations is not technically it's not a mainline game. It was like a culmination of the mainline games in a sense, but it wasn't necessarily like Monster Hunter 5. So it is pretty cool to see Astalos finally making a return in a mainline, or not even a return. It's a return to the series, but it's not a return in the mainline games. It's debut in its first mainline Monster Hunter game, and I think it looks pretty cool. It looks like very nicely like rendered in. We didn't get any gameplay of it, we just got a little snippet right at the end of the trailer showcasing it, but regardless, it is awesome to see that this is making its way to Monster Hunter Rise. We did also get some additional information about how the game starts up, with the hunter being tasked to set out to go to Elgato, which is our new hub area. We did get a little glimpse of like various aspects of this area, and as well as the gathering hub as well, and just in general I think it is a pretty decent area. A lot of characters do take on various night type aspects with their design, with the canteen also making a return here, which was pretty cool to see. I don't think it'll be the Dango system. I don't mind if it is, but it would be pretty cool to have 2 eating styles. One that's a Dango system from, I forgot the name of it, Camera, and then a different version or more generic canteen from the core, like the other Monster Hunter games in Elgato. We also have the new quest damsel, Chiche, I think is her name is pronounced, and she will be our new quest handler for this expansion. And other characters will also be taking on the core respective roles of like the merchant and smithy. Of course, they're not going to be the same ones from Camera, but we will have the new characters in there to replace their actual like designs and pretty much serve as the same function as the ones in Camera. Monster Hunter Rise, as for its versions, I will briefly go over it here, but I will make another video on it as to what you can expect depending on what version you want to buy and what bonuses you will get if you do buy it before its release. So Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak can be bought digitally and physically with pre-order bonuses intact, and there also will be a set for both the base game and expansion in one convenient buy for those of you who haven't bought the base game yet at all, or if you're switching platforms. So if you are like if you've bought it on the Switch already but you want to buy it on PC and you just want to buy it in one bundle, there will be that available for you. And like I said, I will be making a video on this just so you have a clear-cut video that you can click on, and all it will be about is the versions and bonuses that will be available. Finally, we have the last 2 new pieces of information that we received, first of which being the new Silkbind attacks and switch skills and such. Of course, we didn't see the exact names and everything about them, but we did see their animations being pulled off in various areas of the footage. They do look pretty cool. I probably will make a video on these as well separately, as it will be pretty fun to speculate and just analyze what these new animations will be. So definitely stay tuned for that. But you can just watch the gameplay and you can pretty much sum up for yourself what these new switch skills are and how they look and what you think of them. And as for our last piece of information that we received, we did get news that 13 gigabytes will be required for the title update, that will launch alongside Sunbreak on the 30th of June. So that is definitely something to plan for and just to think about ahead of time. And to be honest, it does sound quite harsh when you just think of the size of the title update, but you have to keep in mind that Sunbreak is kind of like a new game. It's like a full game sized expansion. So at least for me, I don't think it's as bad as it sounds. And with that said, guys, that does bring us to the end of this video. If you did enjoy it, like would be extremely appreciated. It does help out the channel a ton, and it helps push out this video, and just in general helps the channel's exposure. Subscribe for a lot more Monster Hunter content. Everything here will be about Monster Hunter, so you don't have to worry about subscribing and finding a video on, I don't know, Counter-Strike or something just completely random. But yeah, don't forget to join our Discord. Link is at the top of the description. There's a lot of awesome other Monster Hunters in there, and we would love to have you with us. There's people on all types of platforms and all the various Monster Hunter games, so if you're looking for someone to squad up with, whether that's on Rise, World, or even like for Ultimate on the Citra emulator, you probably will find someone in there who would be willing to play with you if you, of course, come on at the right times as them. But regardless, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.